All right, welcome back to BMRL Network. We are here at the Charlotte Roval for race number 11 in the BNR Cup Series. Qualifying is about to kick off here this afternoon as our drivers are on the track. Currently on your screen, that is Mike Slaughter and the number 14 Chevy. Mike looking for a win. Scratch that. Mike does have a win this season. I believe that win came at Chicagoland. Let's see if Mike can get win number 2 in the season. We got a couple of drivers that have had 2 wins. Brandon Moore has had 2. And I believe Jesse Gordon also has had 2. Brandon Moore winning last week at Bristol. Mike Slaughter coming around to the start-finish line to take that green flag. And there we go. Green flag is out for Mike. Ooh, a little loose into the wall for Mike. All right, Joe Stipe on the track.
How you doing today, Chris?
Hey, Will.
Mr. Mayo.
Doing pretty well.
Same here, same here. 21, 24 drivers, I believe. We had Archie manually disconnect. He obviously has put that back on the hauler and decided not to partake here today, I do believe. So, unfortunate, but that's just the way it blows sometimes, ain't it? Which way will the wind blow? You know, that old saying goes.
Just
So
for
today
these
here,
first times to come across.
yes, sir, racing here today at the Roval, the Charlotte Roval. You know, this is this course, this mile and a half, multiple iterations, really since the '80s, when they first thought about racing around here, road course style. It was back in the early mid '80s. They put hay barrels up, and they were like, "Hey, that's our backstretch chicane. Let's navigate some hay barrels." That's a smart idea. Tire walls and whatnot, but eventually, you know, they reprofiled the infield and repaved it, redid all that good jazz, and hey, this is what you got. This is not this past fall's configuration, Chris, that they ran and had that scary, sketchy looking hairpin. This is just the past previous, what is it, 6, 7 years of that's what it feels like, right? 7, at least 6 years of Roval racing here. So gotta
Yeah,
pause
and
that
so
music because that
far,
can be a bit distracting.
Nathan Alou up in the front.
Yeah, he was setting 119s in practice.
He goes around turns 3 and 4 to the front stretch chicane.
What's his time going to be in qualifying? His first lap was a 1:20.22.
And it's going to be a 1:20.08. A little
So
bit
a
faster.
2/10 improvement on that time. Mike Slaughter has secured, it looks like, second place. But man, Nathan's got 7/10 on the field at the moment. That's scary for the rest of the competitors to take a look at that and just go, ow, you know, just Ouch.
Ooh.
No.
And it looks like time constraints cut off right as Bill Hales is about to take his checkered flag run right there. So looks like that's gonna do it for qualifying. Not everyone getting to finish their runs here. But starting on row 1, Nathan Alol and Mike Slaughter. Row 2, gonna be Brandon Moore and Matthew Hunsaker. And row 3, Bill Hales and Nick Schell. Row 4 is gonna have Brian Huntley Jr. and Zach Deutscher. And row 5, Joe Stipe and Matt Bryant. Row 6, James Hudson and Tyler Myers. Looking back a little bit further, in row 7, we got Troy Daggett and Pete Woodrum. Row 8 is going to be Paul Lawson and Josh Schmall. In row 9, Justin Steves and Anthony Lane. Row 10, Philip Bridgman and Chris Campbell. Looking back a little bit further, in the 21st position, Skylar Sixton and Aaron Bradford in 22nd. Row number 12, Thomas Richard and Samuel Archibald. And rounding out in 25th, Xavier Salgado. All right. As we wait for all the drivers to get gridded up here. Go back a little bit. I was touching on it a little bit earlier. But as far as this season's winners of more than one race, Jesse Gordon and Brandon Moore both having 2 wins on the season. It looks like Nathan Alul does have a win on the season, starting on the pole here tonight. His one and only win comes from Daytona. It's a big feat.
Yeah, they do say, anybody can win there, but, win at Daytona, Talladega, New Atlanta, or modern Atlanta. But it does take some skill, to stay in the draft and stay at that speed and be focused. A lot more of a mental fatigue and brain power, I feel like, at the super speedways. But it can be grueling and tasking as well, just like racing at Bristol or here at the Roval, left and right turns. So any place can be physically and brutally demanding on you mentally if you let it. And then some can just be like driving Miss Daisy. It's a very relaxing drive. It's comfortable, mainly because you enjoy the track. You like the track. If you don't enjoy and love the track, then it won't feel comfortable most of the time. But even then, whenever you do love the track, it still beats the just absolute tar out of you. So
Yeah, and this one's gonna be, it's gonna be a good one. I believe out of all the road courses, Charlotte Roval and Watkins Glen are my 2 favorites. I feel like a lot of these guys are gonna have it's gonna be a pretty, I think, exciting door-to-door race here tonight. All right, as the drivers exit the midsection, the interior part of the track, out onto the oval. Now, this track is pretty cool. We're gonna race turns 1 and 2 and turns 3 and 4, and everything in between is gonna enter the inside of the track. Besides the backstretch where you kind of really don't go inside the track, you more or less kind of take a little bit of a detour down the backstretch, if you will. Almost like Daytona. All right, here we go into the backstretch chicane. Bus stop.
yeah, you can call it multiple things: a chicane, a bus stop, or
I never quite understood where that term chicane came from.
It's a French word. It means uh trying to remember exactly. I think like slow curve or like a something along those lines. Basically, something to just kind of slow cars down and away. You know,
Hmm.
at one time, race cars became a bit too fast for human life, and then had to put chicanes in. Racing underway. Green flag is out at the Roval BNR Cup Series, going into turn 1.
Mike Slaughter got a really pretty bad start coming off of the chicane to the start-finish line. I don't know if he got into the wall,
Oh,
but it
Bill
looked like he
Hells.
had to really crank it.
Trouble for Bill on the opening set of corners.
Ooh.
Through the get up and go.
Heavy damage there on that front left. Let's see if we can go back here and...
He just powers up in the middle of the short chute there, and the car didn't like it and kind of noses it in almost at the 11 o'clock angle, it looks like.
How you doing, Zabi? Paul Watson, thank you for the broadcast. You're welcome. Oh, some tire.
Some mock up into the bus stop and some people hitting the turtles and just not able to navigate and getting it wrong.
Ooh, and
That's
Tyler
Philip
Myers.
Bridgman in the SpongeBob car.
Yeah, and Tyler Myers in that DuPont Chevrolet with some heavy front end damage. Let's see if we can...
Tyler kind of sent the 48, or the 84, my apologies. Looks like in there after Philip got into the back of Justin. So a lot of just breaking points just not lining up with one another. That it's a road course. You almost have to treat it similar to a short track. You can't quite, no one's going to have the same breaking point. So you got to give a bit more spatial awareness than what you would at a regular oval track, right, Chris?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost it's kind of like Martinsville, another great example of breaking points are going to be a lot different here and there. Like you said, out of all the ovals, like you really don't have different breaking points at any other oval. Road courses are very, 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 very big. A lot of oval guys on the iRacing circuit, you know, they don't really do anything other than ovals. So we're going to see a lot of guys having issues with those braking zones, and others, you know, yeah, it's just going to be a pretty much a give. You got to give more than you take here.
Oh, for sure. You really have to let the car roll a lot more too through these corners. Maybe 25, not even 50% throttle, if you know what I mean. You really have to, as we talk about from week to week sometimes, just treating it like an egg underneath your pedal, sometimes just trying to navigate this course as well. So,
ooh, and right there.
Easy in, easy out at times too, especially with these Gen 7 Cup cars.
You saw there on your screen the 23 of Thomas Richard. Oh, and the number 1 Pete Woodrum is around. But Thomas Richards having to come to a complete stop there on the start-finish line, jumping that chicane curb.
Now at the apex of turn 1, the car gets away from Pete. And that's what happens. At least that's pretty much, yeah.
That's gonna be one fun thing to hear tonight. As these wrecks happen, we're gonna do a lot of rewinding and watching these things unfold, as I don't think cautions are gonna be a big thing here tonight.
I think there might be a comp caution at lap, I'm trying to remember, is it 5 or 8 somewhere? I think, I can't remember. I'm sorry, Chris. Bad pundit at the moment. But
10, lap 10, yep.
Okay, thank you, lap 10. I was close, I was getting close. I should have just kept guessing.
Because I think as far as any other cautions, I don't think they're going to be active.
you know, there is a transition there going into the infield from turn one, you know, heartburn turn, turn one. There is a bit of a I don't know how we could tell to right on board, or maybe that wall cam or some type of camera there that kind of looks towards the front straightaway. You could really see the downward and then uphill transition to go over that hump, so to speak, in the infield. So, you know, there is a downhill after you turn off the regular oval turn, you know, that going into the quarter mile there to go into the infield, Chris. So there's that downhill, undulating, uphill part, and the car is just constantly loading, unloading.
Ooh,
Someone
Daggett
has.
again.
Was that Troy?
Yeah, for the second time, he had that incident off of turn one.
I heard it. I just.
See what happens. That rear end just really upset right now. Ooh, and the 24 goes off the track.
Oh, and nowhere to go for Phillip. He just kind of goes right into it. He tried to go wide, but as we just talked about, the undulating part of this opening complex of this circuit, the opening sector, as it's a very hilly, terrain, so to speak. And yeah, what goes up must come down, but sometimes it stays up there for a minute as the track just flows like it does. So, let me see.
Yep, and there's that uphill thing that you were talking about. It's almost the blind turn two.
It is a blind turn, yes indeed.
Just one of
It's a
those
blind
hills that you have to
entry into.
climb and hope that you don't have anybody sideways. Ooh. Ow, hard hit into the wall there. I don't know, you think these guys are going to be in trouble with the 0 fast repairs on the season? This track so far taking a lot of victims.
Most certainly going to be in a lot of trouble. You know, you're gonna have to. We do get a reset here at lap 10. Gonna have about a 20-25 lap shootout, 27, somewhere in that ballpark, Chris, of laps remaining to try to make up any type of ground that you may have lost on the opening start, or hopefully don't lose any more ground that you gained on the opening start. So it most definitely will hurt not having that fast repair, but sometimes people rely on that way too much as to have that in the bank, and you know, they kind of just fling the car everywhere, and that's sometimes where you see all the crashes kind of happening from time to time so early in these races that you don't ever want to see happen, right? You don't want to see carnage or chaos or crashes unfold like we see, but sometimes you know, the close racing just happens that way, and nothing else to happen. But
Exactly, and Nathan Alol out to almost a 6-second lead over Mike Slaughter there in second.
Brandon Moore just pitted, coming to lap 7.
And this is funny, right here, I am being shown on my standings on my relative tracking that if Nathan pits right now, he's going to come out in the 4th position. That's how big his gap is over 4th place, who is now 20 seconds behind.
Yeah, the pit stop delta here at the Charlotte Roval, you know, depending on how big of a lead you have on the next competitor, it can be pretty rewarding, like you just said. Come out in 4th position. That's not too bad, I would think.
I think that's just if he
Right.
takes gas only. If he takes fuel and tires, it doesn't show me that, but it shows me if he just pits for fuel only.
I would assume maybe 8th position or 9th position he would probably cycle out, maybe. Might only drop down to 5th.
And there he goes around the number 1. That's Pete
Pete
Woodrum.
Thinks.
Like minds, think alike.
Yep. He's in that Kiss machine tonight. Any Kiss fans out there? At least I see him in the Kiss car.
Yes, yep.
Okay,
I do as well, yep. I was looking at that during qualifying. Pretty nice paint scheme there.
Jimmy Hudson had a moment coming out of the bus stop. I almost said tri-oval.
He's fighting some pretty big damage on that front left. So that front end's kind of hobbling there.
Brandon Moore coming out of the pits and working on Skylar Sixton. Gets past Skylar. That is for 7th position on track. So where Brandon pitted in 2nd position, he came out, I want to say 8th, maybe 9th position. And I think Matthew Hunsaker pitted with him as well. So those 2 cars and drivers have pitted before the comp caution at lap 10. So gonna have to wait and see who else may pit before that comp caution, if anyone else. You have Zach Neuscher trying to run down Brian Huntley and Nathan Schell. And Mike Slaughter, he's just minding his own business.
Mike just running his own race, just racing that track, so to speak, and just trying to catch Nathan. These guys have such a clear path in front of them and behind them.
I think this might be the white flag lap for the stage break or the comp caution, whatever you'd like to call it. Not 100% sure, but they could get it right at 10.
Caution's out, caution's out.
All right, yes indeed. Right at lap 10 is our comp caution. Something new that been happening, you know, in the BNR racing series, whether it be trucks or cup, you know, road caution like comp cautions at the road courses, since there isn't actually no cautions in iRacing. So in a way, you get the field spread back together, and in a way, get you a reset as far as getting you back to your nearest competitor. Maybe have some tighter, stiffer competition towards the end of these races, right, on the road courses. So it's not all going to be a complete knockout, drag out by somebody, you know, in an essence. You know, there's going to be some sort of brawling going on. Hopefully not actual barroom brawling, but just, you know, racing. Not 2 elbows out, but, you know.
Kind of like what we've seen in the NCAA football this weekend.
Yeah, maybe. There is a football field here. I guess we could use it. So, Paul Lawson, Troy Daggett, Philip Bridgman. Who else? Well, that's it. Paul Lawson, Troy Daggett, and Philip Bridgman are out of this race. Xavier and Samuel did not start. So we had 23 starters.
18 on the track. Josh Small getting some damage repaired.
19 on track. Anthony Lane. Oh!
Oh, what? Where? Who?
Anthony Lane just hopped the curbing, trying under caution, trying to catch up to pace car and everything. I was going to say there's 19 on track. Anthony Lane, I was just watching him and just hopped the turtle there on the final corner, man, straddled it. Just got a bit too much there. I know it's under caution and all, but still, you got to get around the track,
Ooh,
at a reasonable pace. But man, oh man, I
man,
wasn't trying to point that out or nothing, but that could have been a lot worse. That's actually a great save. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So,
Let's just hope he didn't lose any weights on that and gets DQ'd.
oh
Someone just hit the wall.
yes.
I heard that. Uh,
Who in tarnation?
um, was it the two? The two's got some damage. It was on, cause yeah, I think it happened going onto the track on turn 3. Because we were watching Anthony Lane hit turn 1 and we could hear it. Sounded like right to my right side.
Was the two? I'm gonna back this up. Oh, Deutscher the car gets away from him on the transition coming up onto the oval part. Man, does he have toe damage now? So much is happening under caution. Man, oh man.
While they hit pit road, let's go back and watch the two here.
Doesn't look too wobbly, but does look like some fender damage.
So it's a little bit ahead of this.
Yeah, he was going slower than normal, and the car just didn't like it. And he didn't really hit the apex how he'd been normally hitting during race pace. And because I've been trying to watch through the field, been trying to see how some of these drivers hitting some of these corners, and that time under caution speed or pace speed, just like I said, car didn't like it. The transition and everything, like we talked about, the undulating up and hill and downhill slopes and everything, getting back onto the banking right there. And got to remember the what is it, 18 degrees of banking that Charlotte has, 16, 16, 18, something to that caliber of banking that Charlotte has. So it's pretty steep banking to say the least, especially for just a mile and a half alone.
Yeah, how about this? Matthew Hunsaker, he pitted on lap number 6, and he's going to be our leader. But for some reason, it's showing Aaron Bradford as our leader, even though Aaron is on pit road. It's a cycle out, I think, once he crosses the stripe.
So Matthew got by Brandon Moore. What happened to Brandon Moore then?
Ooh, yeah, Brandon Moore on pit road again. He pitted about, what, like 3 laps prior to our stage.
But he was in front of Hunsaker before the caution came out. At one point. I can't find, and yeah. Well, I'm rewinding everything and fast forwarding and like trying to see if he could have spun under caution or what. But I could have sworn. I could have sworn.
Looks like he does have some front left damage. Yeah, he does have some front left nose damage.
Maybe that'll just be something we can talk to him after the race or something. Because at one point, man, Hunsaker, those tires must have came to life. Because him and Brandon pitted on the same lap. So he's the only car to stay out here. Nathan, excuse me. Matthew Hunsaker. Then Nathan, then Mike, then Nicholas, Brian, Zach, Skyler, Christopher Campbell here. Tyler Myers and Matt Bryant rounds out the top 10. It's going to be something to see if Hunsaker has the pace to hold off anybody with these. Let me see, lap 13. I'm just going to go back green here. Lap 14. He came in at lap 7. So 7 lap old tires with a heat cycle to them. You know, he was running, what was it, third or fourth? He was running fourth when they pitted with Brandon, right? Brandon was running third, he was running fourth. So is he going to just fall back to where he was actually running, where his true speed pace should be? Or can he stay up here with Nathan? You know, the race pace of Nathan seems to be pretty brutal.
Yeah, I think Nathan will catch him. I don't know, I think the transition from 2 to 3, so I think Nathan has the, you know, the not preferred line coming to this green flag, being on the outside of turn 1. I believe once they get up that hill, turns 3 here, I think that's when Nathan will probably be able to get back out in front. Who knows though? Can Matthew run away with this? Got some cars on the front stretch going into turns 1 and 2 here, trying to catch the field. The 81 of Anthony Lane will be able to catch the field, but I don't know if the 6 and the 53 will get there in time. They're hauling.
16 laps to go at the stripe. Here we go. So BNR Cup Series action about to be back underway.
All right, let's see what Nathan does with this outside line going to the green flag. On the initial green flag, we saw issues on that outside line coming around the chicane onto the front stretch.
Green.
Wow, and Nathan's gonna take a nice charge. And he's already fighting for it. He's got the lead.
Mike Slutter on the outs. Oh, contact made between the 14 and the 3.
Oh, and
field is going to be blocked.
Big pile up here. Well, actually, a lot of people got through it on something good. So, okay. Oh, and the 5 goes around. A little bit of help there.
Yeah, we thought that was going to be a lot bigger than it was, eh?
Yeah, I do. I thought it was going to collect everybody.
Brian got collected. Boisher, Shells, Sigston, Bryant.
It's always funny, you can kind of tell when people are driving a little bit angry. It looks like Mike Slaughter driving a little bit frustrated right here, it looks like. Oh, and the 58 just... Oh, and the 68 locks it up. Tyler Myers said, forget that chicane. Look at that, Brian Huntley, after getting a little bit into that opening lap mess, he's in second place. Yeah, sure as heck thought that was going to collect everybody in the field. It was going to block up and congest everything, but there's some odd luck they got through it. Oh, the 00 stopped on the track. Joe Style, ooh, that front end looking very bad.
Good battle at the moment between Huntley and Moore. This is P2, second and third positions. And then Zach Deutscher in fourth, comfortably fourth position at the moment. Mike Slaughter with that confrontation between him and Hunsaker going into what would have been turn 3 or 4, whichever turn that is actually labeled in the infield underneath the bridge. So $14 laps remaining. And Nathan Allo is still in command of this race. He's taking it back.
Yeah, Nathan almost 10 seconds ahead of second place Brian. Brandon Moore, though, looking to get under Brian. He's going to be under and side by side. And he's going to have the advantage. Now, can he beat him in the bus stop here? It's going to be the big question. Perfect execution by both drivers on that bus stop. Trouble for Tyler Myers. See what happened here.
And Skylar Sigston just couldn't turn into the final corner in time, having to come to a stop on the front straightaway, losing a position or two there. These small mistakes, doesn't matter if it's an oval race or a road course race, doesn't matter. You can't make the simple small mistakes. But then sometimes the car just won't cooperate with you and you just lock up and you go straight and can't go nowhere. So it's just a combination of everything at the end of the day.
Right, and we've seen a lot of those mistakes happening tonight in this race, and I think it just kind of like we touched on earlier, just falls into the category of, pardon me, what kind of driver are you? Are you an oval driver? Are you an oval with road course driver? You know, it kind of just falls into that, and I think we kind of get into the groove on these tracks that have the oval as well as the road course, and you kind of just, you know, you're running that same corner that you would at the Charlotte Oval, and you kind of just get a little bit lost, I think, and forget, oh shoot, I gotta brake for this chicane. As you can see on your screen, Tyler Myers, a little bit of a rough race. He just took down a wall. Kind of get tunnel visioned. I guess it's another word you can say for it. Get tunnel vision with these road courses that they're doing them lap after lap after lap, and then you're doing turns 1 and 2 and turns 3 and 4, and you forget that you're supposed to turn back onto a road course. Ooh, Nathan.
Yeah, some people can get really complacent at an oval or even at a road course. You know, you can log so many laps that you get complacent and you just either outbrake yourself or don't brake enough or forget to let out the throttle here or there and you just overdrive the corner or underdrive and then either gain or lose time here or there or become like some people have become tonight, just become lawnmowers, so to speak. And then you become construction workers trying to tear the walls down, Chris, and so many other things. track inspector. So coming next time by at the stripe will be 10 laps remaining.
Yeah, Nathan really putting it down here. You mentioned we got landscapers and construction workers. He's a train conductor. Plowing through.
I see what you did there.
Railroading the whole pack. Brandon Moore, 14 seconds behind. And Bryant under attack from Deutscher. Deutscher looked like he was a little bit side by side with them, but had to let off more than Brian had to. Aaron Bradford in trouble for 2 times in a row here. Oh, something just went wrong there. I think he came out of that corner a little bit too hot. And that rear end was just never gonna be stuck to the ground.
So a 3-car battle for 3rd position in the closing laps here. Who is going to get on the final step to talk to us tonight on the podium? Mike Slaughter with a lot of heavy nose damage from the incident earlier on the restart, I guess you could say, on the get up and go lap. Zach Deutscher has a little bit of damage, and so does Brian Huntley. We just, you know, it's there. Trust me. They got some good whack-a-moles done to their car. Brian almost out driving himself in the entry to turn. Oh, Zach hits the wall there, going through the infield. Mike Slaughter now moving into the 4th position, getting past the Ailing 2 car, it seems like. One of the best battles on track is this battle for 3rd position. Oh my goodness, don't you just love it whenever you sneeze and it just feels like you've been, like your mind's been reset for a moment? Oh my goodness.
Here we go. Mike on the outside of Brian here. I'm definitely not going to have enough. Oh. Off the wall there a little bit for Mike. Looks like Zach's car has finally regained its control on the ground. And that happen a lot lately. Once these guys smack a wall or get a little slideways, they tend to spin the next corner.
Eight laps remaining in this Roval race. here in the BNR Cup Series. Hopefully talk about going and taking the Roval race to Kansas at some point. I keep trying to persuade Brian into doing that.
Ooh, that would be pretty fun.
Man, Mike applying so much pressure to the back of Brian, and then Zach is back now. So this threesome very strong. But there's trouble in turn one. I just heard it.
Yeah, we
Oh,
got the
Pete.
one car, Pete
Pete
Woodrum's.
Woodrum
Yeah, he's in the barrier.
locked it up. But as we hope, somebody else has joined him, I believe, or was that just him towing back to the pits?
No, he took off. Oh, I think somebody on pit road just blew an engine.
Oh, okay, that's what that was. I heard a crashing after we got past Pete, so 10-4.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Tyler or if it's. I think it might be the 23. Man, look at that. Brandon Moore just coming off of the backstretch as the leader is across the stripe, going into turn 2 and 3. Oh, Anthony Lane missing that chicane exit onto the front stretch. Gonna have to stop. These guys having to come to a complete stop if they miss
Mike
these
Slaughter.
corners.
Mike Slaughter overshooting the final corner. Bradford, there was a bit of a lap traffic in front of the battle for the podium position, and just unfortunate. Mike Slaughter hit the turtle, shoots him up Alex Bowman style into the wall, just about, or into the wall, and loses the position to Deutscher and loses the time he had gained on Brian. So Brian now with a 2-car length buffer over Zach as they catch Joe now. Joe Stipe in the 00.
Alright, had to clear my throat. Didn't want to cough on cam, or on mic.
I didn't know we were on camera.
On microphone.
No, I'm just messing.
Man, look at this battle. 4 of them bunched up here. I know only 3 are racing for a spot here as the 00 kind of gets out of the way. Poor Joe is kind of in a big old predicament there going into that bus stop. When things like that are set up on you, it gets a little nerve-wracking because you're like, no, I'm not fighting for this position. Oh, and the 2's gonna get the 12. Oh, man, that looked a little sus.
Yeah, coming down the
Oh,
straightaway
man.
here. And yeah, that's a hard look for the back of the 12. Yeah, that's going to end Brian's night. Brian was running a real good third position there, and just,
Oh, man.
that was a hard hit.
Just completely went under the 12 and just hooked him right in that left rear. Was there some animosity being
I don't really know what could have led to that. If there was, yeah, like I said, looked like Brian was holding a pretty good line, defending, third position from Mike and Zach both, and then, yeah.
Oh, and the 2's gonna give up that spot and hit the pits here. Could we be seeing a penalty being handed down? Oh, tires up. Right side's up and disconnect. Well, I think the gloves are off.
Yeah, to say the least.
And Nathan's gonna cruise to win number 2 on the season. Winning, I mean, argumentatively, I think he's gonna be the winner of the 2 toughest races this season so far. Daytona, like we had touched on, it's a plate race. You know, it takes skill to stay in that draft and be able to hold that draft and to get the win there. And it takes a good skill here at these road courses as well. And I think as long as his race stays clean here, he doesn't mess up in these corners, I think that's going to be 2 of the hardest races in his win column here. You know, everyone's dream is, you know, everyone wants to win a race. But what race do you want to win the most? Daytona. Or Talladega. Those race wins just feel so much different than winning at Las Vegas. Or Texas or Kansas or any other track. And then it comes to one of these road races, you know, there's a select few people in each league that can actually get those done. Like some contact right there. Who is that? The 81, Anthony Lane. Just wanting this race to end. But here comes Nathan to take 2 laps to go. Alright, Nathan Alou, a little back out onto the track. Turns 1 and 2. Next time by will be the white flag.
Five cars are on the lead lap. Is that how many will finish on the lead lap? It looks like Bill Hells is coming to get lapped by Nathan. Ooh, Skyler just trying to get out of the racing line for the leader. Let's go. I think that, my apologies, there was 8 cars on the lead lap. That's gonna make it 7. So, I don't know where I got the 5 number from. I need to go back to school.
Alright, white flag is out.
White flag is out here at the Roval, here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Heck of a race. One doozy of a race for some of these competitors, and others it was a breeze. By others, I probably just mean Alex. I mean, I almost called him Alex below. Nathan Alou. My apologies. So he's driving like Alex below.
I'm gonna go under the 53 of Bill Hales. That's gonna be 6 cars on the lead lap. Christopher Campbell is next, but I do not believe he's gonna catch him. That is a negative, as Chris is just now taking the white flag for himself. But Brandon Moore on that lap 10 yellow, he restarted, I believe, like 15th. And he's going to get second place as Nathan's going to win his second race of the season. Just a total domination out here tonight. I think he led every lap besides 2 laps, which were under yellow. Oh, man. Brandon Moore going to get second, and Mike Slaughter going to get third place as he comes around us. There's the checkered flag for him. Matthew Hunsaker going to be out on turns 3 here. Nick Show on, there he goes, gonna finish in 5th. Christopher Campbell coming around that final corner onto the front stretch. And he's gonna bring home 6th, and Bill Hale's gonna be 7th here tonight. But Nathan, down the backstretch, looks like he's going to park it there. We're gonna see a burnout. Oh, looks like he was just letting those last few cars around so that they could finish their race. That looks like that's Alright, let's bring Nathan up here in the booth. Hey Nathan, it's Chris and Will up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations winning here at the Charlotte Roval. That's going to be win number 2 on the season for you, man. Congratulations.
Thanks. That was awesome.
Yes, it was definitely awesome. I believe you led almost every single lap besides that caution lap coming off of pit road. I believe it was Slaughter, I think. Or no, it was Hunsaker who was starting on the inside of you on that restart. Kind of just, walk us through. Practice, you were the fastest car in practice. You won the pole position, and then you kind of just stayed up there in front. What a race, man.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a nice nice track for me because I worked on it some weeks ago. I think it was on officials. And yes, I expected to be a hard race because you never rest here because the track is very demanding, very technical. So I was focusing on not making any mistakes, or I was just careful but aggressive on the pace, and yeah, I'm glad it worked. I didn't made any mistakes, and yeah, very happy.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we kind of talked about during this race, compared to an oval where you can approach every oval in different corners at different ways throughout the race because the track changes. You may approach it at a low angle, you may approach it at a higher, um, you know, throughout the race. But with this kind of road course, I mean, you have to be very, very consistent every lap. And watching you put down these laps, I mean, you were hitting, the same marks on every corner, staying very, very consistent. How do you, what kind of, I guess, tips can you give to everyone out there watching who may be an oval racer that doesn't really like road courses? When it comes to a road course like this, how do you stay vigilant? How do you stay consistent and not get tunnel vision, I guess?
Yeah, very focused. But I have to say, um, this is more about understanding what's make you fast throughout a series of corners, left and right. I mean, I think when you understand where the car can be fast and how, I mean, in the how can you explain? Um, I can give you a tips, guys. Watch some Suelio Almeida videos on YouTube. He's amazing. I mean, it's all about understanding um, the the how do you say it in English? Understanding the corners, right? I
Right.
think it made me look so simple, so easy, but it's not. And he how he explains it really well. He's a pro driver. He's also a coach, and I think you guys you need to check this YouTube channel. It's it's awesome to learn about basics of physics in iRacing, how to be fast in a corner, left, right, whatever. It's amazing. I think it's the best tip I can give you guys because he's awesome and it's very easy to understand that kind of things when you watch his videos. It's you know so yeah, very consistent, and you have to understand uh how how you can approach a corner to be fast on exit, to gain a lot of speed out by sometimes braking less and before you think you have to brake. It's all about the exits. Right. I can say that.
All right, man. Well, congratulations. Win number two on what I believe are the two toughest races this season. Daytona, which is a race that everyone wants to win, but only one person can. Technically, that's false for every race, but Daytona is one of those big ones. And then here at the Charlotte Roval,
Yeah, it's a
congratulations.
tough track. It's a tough track. It's not easy.
All right, man. Well, congratulations. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Maybe we can get another win in that column as we head to, I think, Atlanta or Auto Club, I believe. I think
All
Atlanta is
right.
the next week.
All right. Great.
All right, man. Well, congratulations and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks guys. Thanks for the racing. Thanks every driver. Thank you guys for the broadcast. It's an awesome league. Um, Everyone has respect for each other, and I think it's the most important thing. And I try to do the same. And thank you guys for having me.
No problem, man. You're welcome. And yeah, you did a great job. And yeah, I love broadcasting for this league. It's a very, very clean racing out there. It's fun to watch.
All right, thank you, man.
All right, and let's jump to our. We'll go down the thing here. Go to second place, Brandon Moore. All right, Brandon Moore bringing it home in second place, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, that was a rough one. That went full circle.
Yeah, and I believe so. You were up there in the top, I think top three. And then that stage caution, if you want to call it that, when it came out, you fell back to what, like 15th or something on the restart. We were kind of wondering what happened.
Well, what happened is I cold tires getting out of the pits. I spun it on pit road, and then I got it back going again, and then got through the first right-hander after the pit, and then I got hit in the right rear, and then I nosed it with the left front into the wall and got a meatball. And then I had to come back into the caution, and I sit there and fix the meatball portion. I got it down to 2.5 minutes of damage, and then we went back green, and they wrecked like mad, and I went from like 13th to third in that first lap. We went back green.
And then just held it from there.
Yeah,
Man, what an outstanding race for
that
you.
car was killed. Yeah, that thing, the tires, when I had fresh tires on it, it still felt the same. But as soon as the tires went away, I could feel the aero damage, and I was like, this thing's front end is not working.
Yeah, it was a crazy race on that restart. We surely thought up here in the booth that that was going to just congest the whole track, and it was going to collect a whole bunch.
Put
After
it right on the inside curb to get by
yeah,
it.
yeah, and we're pretty shocked to find out that a lot of people were, braking, giving good distance on braking for it, and everyone went underneath it and got through it. It seemed like besides about 3 or 4 cars.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, a little heads up driving. But that could have went a whole lot worse. We'll take P2 for sure after that mid race, or I guess it would be considered the beginning of the race mishap.
Well, man, we're headed to Auto Club next week. I guess,
Fun.
yeah.
The big wide multi-groove racetrack, make the whole thing work.
It's gonna be
It's going to be a
interesting.
lot of aero blocking. Got to make sure not to staying behind the other vehicles during the corners there. You'll get aero tight, and those will just plow. Uh, Will's been driving a lot of Auto Club here recently. He can attest to that as far as getting aero tight at Auto Club. Uh, Part of the next gens.
Definitely, man. Congratulations getting the P2. You got any shout outs or thank yous?
I just want to thank the broadcast booth. Thank all the drivers. Thank all the admins setting it up, and very thankful for the rebound with the P2. And congratulations to the winner, old Nathan. He drove a good race, flawless race. Deserved that. And yeah, hopefully Auto Club will be good to us, and we won't have to rebound. We can just stay up there.
All right, man. Well, congratulations. Bringing it home, another great points race for you. That's yeah, it's gonna be good for you, man.
Oh yeah. Yep. Appreciate it. Hope everybody has a good night.
All right, you too, and have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Sounds
All right. All right, Mr. Mike.
Hey, how's it going, fellas?
Oh, pretty good up here. Finishing third here tonight. What a fun, action-packed, adventurous race.
Oh Lord, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, and
Yeah, it was. I just, I was telling them guys, I was apologizing like nobody could apologize anymore. That restart was just, judging them cold tires, man. And I got just a little loose, and there was Hunsaker, and it was over.
yeah, it was definitely a fun race to watch here. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that restart was crazy. It was
Yeah.
we thought the track was gonna get just completely blocked up and everyone's gonna have to come to a complete stop for it, but miraculously, everyone was able to, not everyone, but most everybody was able to get
Yeah.
through it.
Yeah, it seemed like, as I was going around holding my brakes, spinning around. I see people flying past me. I go, well, everybody's managing it all right. Because that's the first thing I thought too. And I thought in that spot with 2 cars spinning like that, we were going to be in big trouble. And I mean, we were for the most part. I was just lucky I didn't get terminal damage and have to pit, and I could somewhat drive it back up there. The wheel was a little wonky, but started to get used to it towards the end anyway.
Hey, it worked.
And yeah, got her done.
All right, man. Yeah, it was a pretty adventurous race here tonight. For a few laps there, we were watching some awesome racing between, I believe it was you, the 14, or well, you are the 14. I mean, you, the 2, and the 12.
Oh yeah, that was Huntley was doing what he had to do, man. He was running defensive lines because he knew, it's no different. If I see somebody coming behind me, I'm not gonna block them to no end, but I'm gonna make it hard on them, right? Because I know once they get past me, that's it. Like they're faster. So he was doing what he had to do there, and yeah, I guess Zach misjudged the braking zone a little bit there and caught him. So that's one of them deals, man. I don't know if you noticed, when we first started, it was Brian and then Zach. I was behind him and I was watching, and then I happened to get past Zach and I was on Brian's bumper, and I tried for a little bit to get a little position on him, and once I couldn't, I said, "No, I'm backing up. Zach's gonna come back by me, and then they can fight it out and figure it out after that." Obviously you don't wish for him to wreck, but you hope that there's at least, they're racing and they have a little bit of an issue and you can slip by like it did. So unfortunate for them, but I'll take it.
All right, man. Well, congratulations as we move on to Auto Club next week. Gonna be a lot of I'm gonna say a lot of multi-line battles.
Yep, three wide, pushing down the back stretch. Yep, it's coming.
All right, before we let you go, you got anybody you want to say thank you to or give a shout out to?
Oh yeah, my wife and kids, my biggest fans, all my teammates over at Southern E Motorsports, everybody in race control and in the BNR league, everything they do for us every week, and guys at BMRL broadcasting on Sundays. Thank you guys, appreciate it.
No problem, man. I look forward to seeing you again next week.
Sounds good, guys. Thanks.
Alrighty. All right, and I believe we might have a special guest, Brian. I think Brian wants to. Let's see. Hey, Brian, it's Chris and Will, man.
How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. A very adventurous, fun, exciting race. Not how you wanted it to end for yourself, but
Nope.
yeah.
Not really. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Someone just overshoots turn one, and I called it too. I absolutely called it. Like, watch. Like, I know exactly what's gonna happen. And son of a gun, think I'm about to go play the lottery.
Yeah.
Because we had designated RC, and he kept his eyes on it. But I have them dealing with all that. We don't. If one of our admins are involved with the wreck, we don't have a call on it, so I just let them, you know.
All right, but yeah, unfortunate circumstances happening
Go,
there.
I guess, off to Auto Club, I guess.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about with our top 3 finishers there. Auto Club's gonna be It's gonna be a fun one. I think we're gonna have a lot of 3-wide racing.
If I was you, I would keep your eyes out.
Oh, I see. But yeah, great race here tonight. All in all,
Yeah. Oh yeah, very good race. Everybody was good for the most part. No, I ain't gonna do that. I mean, I'm a lot better than that, but yeah, I agree with you. You know, overall, very good race. We started off. Well, some things were like, okay, well, got to be iffy here. But I think after that yellow, when they had their little stage break, then it pretty much got situated from there.
yeah, and that green flag after stage was so it looked like it was gonna be messy, but it ended up being nothing big at all. And it looks like you were able to sneak up into that second place position when that thing went down there on turn 3.
Oh yeah, Matt didn't hold his breath. No, I got involved in it, but he just hit the ass end pretty good. But I'm like, oh crap! I hope I ain't got no daggone meatball, you know?
Right. What you were
Because you
talking
know,
with
once you get
Brandon.
those meatballs, that's it. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, because once you get those meatballs, that's it. You're done. And especially with these cars.
Yeah, they break so easily, the wheels and
Yep.
everything, toe links, all that.
And I thought I was all right when I got sent into turn 2 there, but I'm like, oh, son of a gun! I ricocheted off that wall, bigger than crap, and I'm like, okay, well, she's broke. As soon as he cues up and says, "How's your wheel?" I know he's broke. So it happens.
Right, man. But yeah, moving into Auto Club next week and then Atlanta the week after. Uh, man, you got any shout outs or any thank yous that you want to hand out here?
Yeah, I thank you too, Chris and Will. Will's been doing a great job over on the iRacing side of things now. Good to have him over here, enjoying what he likes doing. My admins, Christopher Campbell, Josh Small, uh, Aaron Bradford, Tyler Myers for their designated work every week. JP whenever he can make it. The racers for coming out every week, putting on a show for you and Will to call. Every now and then you might get a Will in a race, but you never know. He can throw you that excitement throughout whenever. But just everybody for coming out and supporting us over here on the BMRL, and you know, yeah, that's really about it.
All right, man. Well, exciting to move on to Auto Club. I can't wait to see what that racing has in store for us.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully it goes a lot better than tonight. That's for sure.
Yes. Yep.
We'll see though.
All
All right,
right.
I'm gonna let you boys get back to doing what you're doing. You guys have a wonderful night.
You as well.
Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'll be checking in with y'all soon.
All right, man. Go get win number 2 of the season next week.
Uh, Son of a gun, that's what I'm hoping for. All right, boys, have a good one.
All right. You too. All right. Well, I think that's about a wrap here at good old Charlotte at the Roval. Nathan Alol getting that second win of the season. Daytona was his first. Now Roval is his second one. Gonna be great on his points run this season. Gonna be a very interesting week next week as we take on Auto Club. I'll get ready for that one. We're gonna have a lot of 3-wide racing. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a blast. Hopefully everyone comes back again next week. Hit that subscribe button, click that thumbs up. And we'll be back again around 4:15 Central PM on Sunday, or 5:15 PM Central or Eastern. Yeah, look forward to seeing everybody back. Hopefully everyone has a great rest of the Sunday and a great week here at work or school, whatever the case may be. We'll see you again next